2% uptick week over week. Not bad, not bad. Active daily users, it's at 1223. That's up 12%. This week we've been like super busy, and we're going to be talking about what's going on here in the community, in the market. We also have been working very, very hard with our partners and with our investors to close our private round. We don't have yet the official announcement, but it is coming up very soon. So we'll probably be announcing that early next week, I'm gonna say. We have the draft already ready to go and everything. You are going to be floored by the roster that we have supporting us here on the project. So lots of good news on that end. You'll see. Let's see. On the marketing community side, we got last week, we were kind of like in the expectation of what was going on with the Solana Ignition Hackathon. And we got an honorable mention on the hackathon. So yay to us. We had already won anyways, because of the community, because of you guys, because all the support that we're getting through the product, because, the huge engagement levels that we have on the product. So, we are all winners here. We also kind of like last minute thing, we are going to be showing up at Lisbon. There is Solana Breakpoint this week, and I am traveling tonight. Adele, our CTO, is traveling, I think, today too, or later today. So we will be all throughout next week. We're going to be in Lisbon. We're going to be shaking some hands and closing some additional partnerships and strengthening some of the ones that we already have. And we're going to be spending some time with the Solana folks, kind of doing a little bit of planning as well on our side. So lots and lots of good things. Oh wow, like things have kind of like lighted up here. 50 people over in Discord, and a good 20 or so over here. That's good. All right, so what else happened last week on the marketing and community side? We did a partnership with Elements NFT, and we ran a contest, and we awarded 2 rarities of their humanoid robot NFT collection. That was pretty cool. I think that I don't remember. Let me see if I can mention them here. But we had who won? NDU. Onye and Francis were the 2 winners. We announced that, I think, a couple days ago. So, so lots of good stuff. They look sick. You should go check it out in there. But we are also working with kind of different NFT projects, and we're in the process of getting some collaborations happening between some NFT projects and ourselves. And we'll be doing a lot of, a few giveaways as we come closer to TGE and to the IDO of meme. So, stand by for that. I know that the ambassadors and mods are working very hard on those partnerships. And we're going to have a lot more to announce, come soon. We already have kind of verbal handshakes with 2 projects, and we'll be announcing them again, pretty soon. Very cool stuff. All right. Last week, something that we wanted to start this week, but we did not. We had a plan to start the I Spy games with the community to guess what are the 4 other projects, partner projects that are going to be benefiting from the airdrop. But the calendar already has too many things. It's too crazy. There's too many things going on. So we wanted to kind of like do a little bit more of a phased announcement timing, and we're actually meeting on Lisbon with Dean, Machine, and Wells Friend and we're going to be doing a little bit more of a scheduled plan. Those are the guys from Gray, by the way, and we're gonna be talking about, like, how we're going to be announcing those things a little bit. They're helping us out. Put the announcements around the 4 partners because they are the gatekeepers for that. So probably next week is going to be the week that we're really going to kick off that, alongside a lot of different things that you're going to see coming through in the announcements from Lisbon directly. Okay, so I Spy Games. The idea is that we're going to put some really good graphics and stuff out there in Discord and in Twitter. We're going to have 4 surprise boxes, and every week, starting next week, we're going to run a contest, and we're going to let the community tell us which one is going to be inside of the next box. And those are going to be the names of the projects that you think are going to be good partners and good collaborations, and why. So the best explanation, the community member that gives us the best explanation as to why a particular project should be in one of those boxes, if they guess, if they actually guess which one is the one that's inside of one of the boxes, then they will get they'll get additional level ups, and they will get additional bonus on the airdrop for them as well. So and maybe some NFTs as well. So we'll see what happens. lots of good stuff around that. I'm really looking forward to the I Spy Games on that. That's going to be fun. All right. What else? Next week we're going to have a couple of new roles and role prices going live on Discord as well. So the closer we get to the to TGE and to the IDO, the level ups are going to get accelerated for very valuable contributors. So get ready to contribute, and you'll get ready to be rewarded. We have tons of activities already happening right now on the server. We have a ton of different task forces going on, so there is no shortage of ways for you to contribute to add value to the main community and to the DAO. So go and engage there. Ask for help if you need some guidance, but we have a lot of really good engagements already happening here. So there is plenty. If you have not been to the Discord server yet, or you have not visited any of the task forces or any of the contribution channels, you are truly missing out here on what you can do for the community, for the product, for the project, and for the token in general. Okay, so just don't miss the opportunity. Bring your A game, bring your skills, and we will be aligned in our incentives. Let's see what else we have going on here. Of course, reach out to the ambassadors and mods if you have new ideas that you want to bring to the table that might not be there still. It is their job to help you out and to make sure that things are going in the right direction, both in the community and the market. Okay, let's talk product. What happened on the product side last week or this week? We had a lot of bug fixes to go through. You guys have been, I guess this comes with the territory. The more people use the application, the more you get, little bugs here and there, and improvements and things that are not clear that we need to address. So a lot of those things have been addressed. I think that if I had to highlight a couple of the things that happened on the product side this week, are that we made some adjustments on the fee structure, and we had a bug actually in scheduled money streams for transfers, so specifically for that use case, where the fees were being charged to the recipient rather than to the sender. So, oops. So now that is corrected, and the sender is the one paying the fees for that. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Fees are like some pennies anyways, but they shouldn't be charged to the wrong account. So we corrected that as well. We had some issues with certain devices where the calendar, every time that you were going to schedule something in the future and whatnot, the calendar looked kind of funky and it was not rendering correctly. It was a little like uncomfortable and hard to actually do it if you had certain Android devices, and or if you were doing it from an Apple TV. Like, don't ask me why people are doing this on an Apple TV, but whatever, people do this on a bunch of different devices. So if you were browsing Defy on an Apple TV and you wanted to schedule stuff, it was looking a little bit funky as well. So we fixed it. We did a lot of kind of UI fixes that were device specific on that this week. Also, there were some issues about like the balances not updating automatically after an exchange was done, and like you need to do a hard refresh and stuff like that. All of that is already fixed as well. Today we have another pending release, and we will be adding. I actually don't know if it's one or two, but I think it's 2 new tokens to the exchange. And today also another thing. This is kind of like exceptional cases, but some people that have used their wallet on other certain applications. You might actually end up with more than one mint under your same wallet, and what that means is that you end up with like 2 USDC accounts or 2 Rapsol accounts under your wallet. And for those people that had those problems with their wallet, what we're doing is we're giving you a way to roll them into one. So basically, we're going to give you a way for you to take the non-associated token account and roll that balance into the associated token account so that you can use them as one, right? And you don't have to be thinking about, why do I have 2 USDC or 2 USDT accounts? There's a technical reason why some apps do that, but we're not going to go through it here. We're just going to give you a resolution so that you can fix it if you have been using your account in one of those apps and you have kind of like an uncompleted or an unfulfilled order to 100%. If you have something pending, you might end up with that kind of use case. So all of those 2 things, those 2 last things are going to come out today. Like I said, lots of bug fixes that we did. There was a lot of also UI and UX improvements on the workflows when it comes to interactions with the wallets. So especially when it comes around when users like cancel transactions and things like that, there was a little bit of unclear, like not clear that it was a user action, and it rather says something like transaction failed, but it was like the user actually hitting on the cancel button. So it failed because you wanted it to fail, you the user, that is, not because the application failed. So we did a little bit of cleanup in there to make sure that we're giving the right messages on that as well. This week at the protocol level, we released the hybrid liquidity aggregation SDK version 1.1.7. We released a few money streaming SDK improvements as well. We are in version 1.4.15, and we released the DDCA version, SDK version 1.2.21. You can check them all out in the GitHub repo if you are a developer or project, and make sure that you run updates on all of those, and you'll be with the latest. What else have we got going on? Oh, we also did something really cool. We had a very good feedback loop from you guys, from all the users, about the dual tab exchange UX that we did the previous week. And we have basically taken that same model and we have expanded it now to the transfers tab. So now transfers is divided into one-time transfers and recurring transfers, very much the same way that the exchange has the dual tab design. It makes it a lot simpler and easier to think about for users. And in addition to that, in transfers, for recurring transfers, we added a multi-step user flow. Now it's a lot clearer. You have like kind of step one, who do you want to send the transfer, how often, and then step two, you're going to fund the contract that is going to be filling in that scheduled transfer money stream. So really cool. I hope that you guys enjoyed that, and that everybody's it's having fun sending money around and receiving money using MeanFly. What else did we do on the product side? We onboarded a Figment RPC. So we have a new RPC vendor as well added to the rotation. So we have Figment RPC, and we have RPC Node also added to that. So more RPCs, give me more. That is all good news, because that means that we have a lot of fallbacks, that we have a lot of redundancy, a lot of disaster recovery in case of any of those RPCs go down, or any of those vendors altogether go down. We have automatic fallback, automatic relay. So, stronger RPC infrastructure means better, smoother user experience for everybody. So that's always welcome. Damn, we have a lot of people now. 60 people on Discord and about 20, 30 people. That's good. All right. Good. Discord is always winning here, though. All right. What else are we doing here? What we're doing this week, we're still working on the UI and the UX to give exchange users a lot more visibility into the routing and pool selections, alongside with the price improvements being shown side by side. So that's still work in progress. We're working, kind of related to that on a bunch of improvements to the routing algorithm for the hybrid liquidity aggregator SDK specifically. We are also working on making some improvements to the DDCA scheduler. So that's basically the scheduler that wakes up the smart contracts to run your schedule swaps. So that we can basically multi-part call multiple of those vaults at the same time if they match. So there's a few optimizations that we're doing behind the scenes, make sure that we're not that we can scale to thousands and thousands of DCAs daily on that. All right. What else do we have? We actually didn't do any work. We wanted to do some work on the reporting analytics and metrics infrastructure that we have in place. We couldn't. We have been swamped with a lot of these other things that I've been mentioning. So that kind of got moved to next week. Hopefully we get to do a little bit of that, of additional reporting and analytics improvements for next week. At some point, what we're thinking on this is that we're just going to expose that on the MeanFly app, and so that anybody that wants to see like total TVL and total transaction volume and things like that is happening on the app, anybody can. So at some point, we're going to have to do some integration to Defy Yama. So that they can actually, ping and collect our metrics and show them in the leaderboard of Solana projects and just DeFi projects in general. So, work in progress on that. It's baby steps at this point with reportings and analytics, trying to focus on the things that actually matter more to people using the product rather than to people talking about the product. What else? We started working officially with Super Team DAO. We're going to have also some meetings with their leadership out in Lisbon, and we're going to be doing some serious collabs both on deep analysis, UX improvements, and a lot of different things with that DAO. So phenomenal collaboration. They have crispy talent there that is going to come in and help us out on some of the task forces that we have that are specifically related to product and product development. Okay. I think that kind of wraps it up for the product. So we talked about growth, we talked about marketing and community, we talked about product. I think that now what we have is a ton of questions to answer. So why don't we jump on that?
Michelle, kind of like before you jump into it, we have like 2 ambassadors here that have been killing it in the AMA questions, like guiding people with links and documentations and stuff. Panda Gray and Alpha Trader, they're killing it there, honestly.
Oh, thank you very much. You guys are awesome. We love you. Big heart and big shout out. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for helping us handle this stuff. The ambassadors, I have to say, like, you know, our ambassadors, our mods are, oh my God, phenomenal. These guys have been killing it. The amount of activity and ideas and creativity, like, you guys are. I mean, I'm just gonna do a couple of chat. I know I'm leaving a few out, but you know, Mean Sage, Panda Gray, Tuchuk, VK, Alpha Trader, Chuka. I mean, Friedrich. You guys have been doing freaking amazing in there. Like, could not be doing what we would not be able to go as far as we're going and as fast as we're driving this rocket if it was not because you guys are supporting us and supporting the community the way that you've been doing it. And you know, I this goes without saying, but we have some killer. We have the best mods in the business. Mr. Durden, Mr. Tariq, I see you guys here. Joel OJ, Drogan, and like, you know, Ryan, you guys are the absolute rock stars of how this community is coming together is because of you. Thank you for your leadership and thank you for everything you do for MeanDAO. You know, I bow to you. Thank you so much. All right. Enough of that. They know we love them.
Yeah.
We know we love them. Let's go on with the question.
One of the questions is about partners. So kind of like that person is asking, what is the big partner, you know, I'm not just called big partner that we have in.
Yeah, so we already have one that is public, and that is, so if you're talking about partnerships for the airdrop, we have 5 partners, 5 different projects that are going to benefit from the airdrop partner allocation. So they're in the airdrop. 20% of the airdrop goes to partner protocol token holders. Okay, what that means is that if you are a token holder of one of those 5 partner protocols, plus some additional conditions that each of them have, like it's not everything. Like if you have 1 token, probably you're not going to be eligible. Like you have different thresholds and levels of eligibility on those protocols. But if you are a token holder of those other protocols, you are going to be eligible to receive an airdrop directly from us, from me, right? So and we are going to validate that eligibility using Grape Access. So essentially what that means is that if you have a wallet, if you have some of those tokens, I'm not going to say which one they are because they kind of defeats the purpose of the competition that we're going to have. But if you're a token holder of those, you have to come through, validate your wallet using Grape Access. They will validate that you have however many tokens are needed for you to be eligible for the airdrop, and then you will be airdropped your equivalent ownership percentage of the pool that is reserved for each partner protocol. Okay, so that's kind of like the way the mechanics is gonna work there. Now we have one of those protocols that are going to receive airdrop is Grape. So if you're a Grape holder, you are going to receive. I think that I have to confirm the actual benefit level, but I want to say that is Tariq, and you can probably confirm this. I actually don't. I don't want to speedball here. So because then I'm gonna get quoted on that. Oh, but you said that it's gonna be like if I had like no. There's some level. I don't remember the name of the level right now that you have to be at, but there's some level that you need to be on Grape, and then you'll be eligible for meme tokens. And then who are they? The other ones, the other 4. So it's like Grape plus 4. The other 4, you are going. That's what the iSpy game is all about. Like, you know, we are going to be starting next week. We're going to be showing up some fancy graphics with 4 surprise boxes, kind of like one of those egg unboxing that kids do, or LOL unboxings. Like you have to kind of like peel the box a little bit and find out who is the partner protocol that is going to be inside. And those who actually reply to those tweets with the most thoughtful answer, explaining why. Like, if you say, oh, it's going to be X protocol, and because they're cool, that is not a good enough answer. You understand? Like, it has to be that there is some mutually beneficial elements to us actually partnering with them. And the ones that actually gets closer as to why exactly are we partnering with them and what is the kind of collaboration that we're going to do, you're gonna get boosted on the airdrop, and you're gonna receive some additional rewards. So yeah, this is gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to see how to reading all of those comments and responses from the community. This is gonna be fun. Next question.
I have one here related with GitHub repository and security. So, does any plans to upload the code to GitHub repository? As it's pretty clear the code is there, but they're asking if there are any intentions to reward someone who identifies the security in them and reports it instead of like exploiting it.
Yeah. So the short answer is yes. We don't have a formal bug bounty program. And it is in our roadmap. And as we're talking to Certic and all of these other companies that we're working for the audits, it will probably become a pretty set standard. So yes. So the short answer is yes. And if you help us even today, so I'll say this, here, quote me on it, put a tag. If today you do some white hat hacking into our smart contracts, and you don't just go around, if you identify a vulnerability or a security problem, just come to us, help us figure it out and fix it, and then we'll reward you both monetarily and publicly in the community for your contributions and for doing the right thing. So even if we don't have an official public bug bounty program, of course we welcome the input of the community, and yes, we do have reserves for taking care of that. Probably in the next couple months we will have a formal bug bounty program that anybody can participate in and discover issues and stuff. So yeah, there you go. Next, good question. Who asked that question, by the way?
Oh, I didn't get I need to invite to the AMA questions to look up that person.
All right.
I mean, it's there, but I didn't put it in the notes here. Right. There are some questions, by the way, and it's very general about what is the future of MinFi in Q4 in 2022. Sort of like those questions that we have already like in roadmaps and documentation. So I don't know if you wanna like cover them now, but.
No. You guys go read the roadmap. We actually have we have two roadmaps with two ways of looking at them. Meaning, like, if one is just one is the compressed, more detailed roadmap, and is what's going on, what do we have on the books scheduled for the rest of 2021 and 2022. I mean, if you don't like to read, that is pretty visual. Like, come on. Like, give me a break. If you keep asking the same questions, we cannot. We need to move past this. You need to do a little bit of homework on your own.
Okay. Next one here is I would say a challenging question in the sense of daring question. It's like in the Solana ecosystem, there are many projects with the same features as MinFi. Give me a reason.
Really? Wait. Time out. Stop right there. Who asked that? And I want to invite you to the stage and speak.
I need to look up that person. I don't have the names here.
I want to hear what those projects are. They do not exist, my friend. Or we have our heads in like buried in the ground. We really don't know where we are, in which case I'll be worried about that. But please come up to the stage. I want to hear you. Try to find. Try to get him to the stage. Yeah. I have another one here that I think is a good question. I want to answer. What are some of the tokens you're looking to add to the exchange, and why not add all the tokens at once? That is a good question. Why are we adding tokens little by little to the exchange, and instead of just like, if we have already 5 different AMMs that we are adding, that we're integrating with, why not just support every single pool within each one of those AMMs, period, as part of the exchange? And the reason for that is manifold. Number one is we released the liquidity aggregation, the liquidity aggregation SDK and the on-chain aggregation like not that long ago. Like, I mean, we're talking about like a couple of weeks ago. We need to test the AMMs and all of their unique peculiarities, that like all of them are different. Like if you talk to, every time that we have to make a call and execute a swap on Radium, it's very different. Like their contract, even though they're both AMMs, Orca and Radium, they behave different. Their integration points are different. We have to take into account that each of those AMMs have different release schedules. They have different ways of submitting data to their AMMs. They have different ways of collecting fees. There's a lot of different things that are uniquely different to each one of the AMMs. And opening up the floodgates for every single token under the earth exposes us to a lot more bugs, a lot more issues, a lot more problems that will be really difficult to confront in production. So we're starting with small. Oh, and the second thing is that those bugs and those problems get intensified when you have very shallow pools, when you have very low liquidity, when you have very new tokens that are coming into the market, and they might have $100,000 worth of liquidity. Any of those liquidity pools can be drawn immediately. They can be run dry by a single individual, which will cause a lot of headaches for anybody that is trying to perform a swap or do anything on that particular pool. So we're taking a cautionary approach in how do we get to onboard each one of these tokens little by little. At some point, after we have 100% full confidence on our integration with each one of those AMMs, that it is aligned beyond just the integration that we have for the aggregator, we will probably at some point open up every single token available to every single pool, available to every single AMM that we integrate to. But for now, we have to take this gradual approach and onboard tokens that, number one, are legit for good projects, and number two, have deep liquidity that is not going to cause any kind of weird behavior in here. Okay, so that's a reason. Very good question on this. All right, Mylene, anything else, or do we go down the list of questions here? Did you find that person?
Yes, I sent it to you via message in Discord. And I also have the person that asked a question about the security.
Okay, is that Duyan HTM? Duyan, where's Duyan? Is Duyan on Discord?
I think it might be in Discord.
In Discord. Duyan, do you want to come to the stage? I want to hear it, man. Or just write it out. I want to hear who are those projects that do the same thing that we do. I really want. But okay, let's give him some time and see if he comes up to the stage. All right.
I have some questions here about why did the team decided to build the project in Solana on Solana chain.
Yeah. Also, questions that are answered. You should go and read the launch announcement on our Medium. There's a lot of questions to answer that why. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot be repeating the same thing every single week. Otherwise, we don't get to actually talk about things that are interesting and important and progress on the project. You need to do a little bit of your own, do your own research. Yeah. No limit on transaction. Oh, this is just Wanda Gray helping out here. All right.
Any yield, yes, any yield aggregation plans in the future? That's from Star
yes,
7.
not yes, yes. We do through. Listen, all right. I'm going to like give a hint in the I Spy. It would be one of the projects. There you go. So like we're gonna bring a partner project for that. Yes. But the answer is yes. Star 7. Yes. Coming up. All right. What else do we have? Serious question now. Okay, I like the start. Why do we not do collab with NFT DAO project? It's super high now. What is follow the trend on NFT? No, I didn't follow that. Evo, sorry. CNC have adopt DAO too. Yes, yes, we are collaborating with different NFT projects right now. We already launched a contest this week, and we're going to be doing more in the coming months. Early users, how early do I have to be for IDO whitelist? So there's two different things here. So IDO and airdrop are two different things. I don't want people to get them confused, right? Hopefully, like people understand the difference. Airdrop is basically free tokens. You don't have to pay for them. Free tokens that get airdrop into your wallet based on a number of things that make you eligible for those tokens or not. You can go to the airdrop and tokenomics channel on Discord to find the details, or you can simply go to the docs.meanfi.com and go to where it says main token, then initial distribution. That's the initial distribution and airdrop are basically one and the same. It's the same thing. All of the schedule and all of the qualifying events that make you eligible for it, all of those things are online. So again, I'm not going to cover them in here, but yeah. And then you have the IDO, and the IDO is you actually have to pay for the tokens. Okay, so they're not free. They are basically the first time that anybody can buy those tokens, and the IDO price is determined in a number of different ways, but market making is basically what that looks like. And immediately after IDO, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball to know what is going to be the final price that is going to be listed at IDO. But you will be able to see it because it's going to be trading at market there. So you'll have a little bit of time to actually react to it and decide whether you want to buy into Mean or not. The second thing is that like immediately after IDO, all of the things that are just a schedule as part of market trading and market making are going to be also available. We plan to add AMM pools on the larger AMMs and DEXs in Solana. We also have lined up two of the largest exchanges, like centralized exchanges, where it's going to be listed within like the week of us going live on the IDO. So like there's a lot of events that are happening very, very tight to one another. So you'll be able to, if you are a member, again, I'm not going to be announcing this right now until we have like the proper marketing channels, but do keep following us on Twitter and on Discord and on the Medium, and those announcements will come out in their right time. But whether you are a user of centralized exchanges or you're more of a DEX and DeFi user, you will have many options to buy, sell, and trade Mean on everywhere. Now, beyond the buying and selling and trading, I think that your best option is going to be to keep it, because you'll be able to farm it. You'll be able to do a lot of different things with the Mean token that can help you grow more Mean tokens out of that. So there's that part. You'll be able to log it as well, and you'll be able to get a good chunk in return for holding onto your tokens and helping support the platform on that. So So yeah, it's a lot of utility to the token as well. All of that utility is also available online. Not going to go through the details, but I invite you to read on all of those. Okay.
Okay, we have here, what's the plan against hacking, which, we've seen in many good projects?
The plans against hacking, which we've seen in any...
what plan do we have when we get hacked, pretty much?
When we get hacked. The plan is not to get hacked.
Yes.
Okay? So I think that this security thing kind of comes up every week, but and maybe we have to do a lot more writing and a lot more content publishing around this and what we're doing and whatnot, so that we don't repeat ourselves so much. But I'm going to address it because it seems to be in everybody's mind. Every single smart contract in crypto land has security risk, including Uniswap, including it doesn't matter in which chain you are or in which project you are. All of them have smart contract security risks, and they are in the form of code risks. They are in the form of incentive dynamic misalignment. So, for example, part of the routine code checks that we do and part of the actual audits that projects go through is not only to check that your logic and the logic in the code is solid and is not moving funds to the wrong spot, but it is also to detect whether we can be victims of a flash loan attack, for example, where a lot of people use interim smart contracts to park funds and then release them in and out of AMMs that can end up debalancing a token, and they can come and basically sweep the floor because they know that is going to happen, right? So there's a lot of things that go beyond the code that we check it constantly. But the auditing firms also kind of give us a seal of approval because they have seen many hundreds of other projects, and they have identified and analyzed all of these previous hacks. So we are not yet officially audited, but we are working with 2 auditing firms right now on that process, and it is... I cannot say about the specific timelines, but the aim is to try to be fully audited before we go on central exchanges, at least. Okay. So there's that part. We are already taking a lot of different security measurements, from doing automatic code testing and code coverage, unit tests, integration tests. So all of those things kind of help make sure that the logic that we write is sound, and as we make updates and bug fixes and things like that come out, that we don't mess up anything that we already had right beforehand. So and on top of that, we have a lot of different things that are related to the fact that all of our vaults have a dedicated owner that is never us. It's not all of the vaults, whomever created the vault is the owner of the vault and is the only one that can access those vaults. So we never have access to the funds. The only way that you can actually do some of those flash loan attacks and things like that is when you are sharing pools with other people, and we have none of our contracts are shared between multiple people. Even the money streamings for payroll, which technically you have one treasury with many beneficiaries, the treasury is only managed by a single treasurer. The person managing that treasury vault is one person. The beneficiaries only are at the expense of whatever configuration was set on each of the money streams from the treasurer of the vault. So we don't have shared custody of any of the vaults, and that is a purposeful design choice that we made, and that also helps tremendously in security. So we already had I think the first week or two, we had one specific user that had an issue that that their vault was not showing up in the app, right? And they reached out to us, and it was a bug in the UI. We fixed it, but at the end of the day, like we could see that the vault was there, but we couldn't touch it. We had to ask him, hey, now like we built like a separate page for him to like make a little correction and transfer, and he did it, but he had to do it. Like we couldn't do anything. Like we give you the tools for you to access your vaults and your money and your stuff, but that's it. We are kind of like we are the cables of the system, not the system itself, right? So yeah.
We have an interesting question here that says, is there going to be anything like a buyback and burn system?
Yes, and you can read it. There's a lot of details on the buybacks and on the doc site. So go and read the tokenomics and go and read the utility and liquidity of the token, which was, I think, an original query. We added actually that page because of one of you guys asked to kind of like lay it out for us, and we made that page specifically for that. So yeah, go check out the doc site. Scroll the way down to where it says mean governance. Look up the mean token, and there's 2 pages there that talk about the redistribution model.
I have another one here that says, what would be the 3 most priceless lessons that you got so far since you're entering the DeFi space and the blockchain?
Wow. Okay. That's a very profound question.
Yeah.
What are some of the 3 biggest lessons?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the first one is that like I personally, and I think I speak for the rest of the team, like we had never built a product, and we have built like a ton of products. Okay, like this is not our first rodeo. Like I have some white hair in this head of mine. Okay, and this is the first time that we have built a product in the open. With open source tools and open source infrastructure. And an open source community. And I never in my wildest dream would have been able to predict the engagement levels that we have found here. Like every single day for us is an exponentially crazier day. Every day is like we have a meeting every single morning. 8 a.m. All the team members come together, and we kind of do like a daily stand up, and we're always online on like the team room, and the level of like the all moments are on a daily basis for us, whether because it is someone that sends us extremely high quality feedback of the ones that I would be like throwing money at because of how much thought was put onto it, to phenomenal quality, like high-end artwork and video work and creative work, to like tremendous amount of activity. Like it's just like the community for us to me is a big highlight of this. And the lesson is, don't underestimate the community, I guess, on this. This is a community-based project, and this is a DAO-based project. So community is everything, and we want to make sure that it's a healthy one and a thriving one. Another one that I would say I was very surprised is, or that is a big lesson to me, is like there is a lot of money in crypto, like a lot more than like, I've been an LP for a long time, but I never expected like people to be like, I mean, quite literally, we have had people reaching out to us in like direct messages. Hey, I have $500,000 to deploy here in your token. Like, do you want it? It's like, I don't even know. Like, who are you? Like, what are you talking about? Like, the main token is not even live yet, and you're like, like giving me those like crazy numbers. Like, So, lesson to be learned there. There's a lot of anonymous people that like to remain anonymous, that have a ton of money and a lot of legs in the community. Um, so, um, so yeah, I am often surprised by the kind of interactions that we've been exposed to in the last month or so on this. And the third biggest lesson is that don't underestimate the complexities around building for blockchain. Even though Solana has a lot of phenomenal benefits that we all love and cherish, like the speed and sub-second finality and the proof of history with individual leader node selection and all of those things that are great and fine, and that's many of the reasons why we're here. Developing in the open with partners that many times don't have dev versions of their smart contracts, so you have to test in production, which costs ridiculous amount of money to actually run tests and start basically trying out your contracts before going live to the public, but you need to test them in mainnet using real funds. So that has been somewhat difficult thing for us to handle, I think, on a daily basis. So we're still learning a lot, and we're still very early. But yeah, don't underestimate the complexity of doing this, from all the growing pains that we had on trying to set up a fail-safe infrastructure for the RPCs, and to all of the issues that we've had trying to get the actual DCA vaults up and running and scheduling on a timely manner, and making sure that they're executing on non Delta markets. Like, all of those things have been like big learnings for all of us, and we are every day taking the humble pill when we are coming onto a new problem. So yeah, the building. I think I had on my personal account. Let me see if I can find it, because I'm going to quote it verbatim, because I meant it when I said that. On Twitter, I put somewhere not that long ago. I posted something that had to do with. Here you go. I posted this on October 9th. Having a good idea is easy. Finding a team is hard. Designing a product is hard. Building software is hard. On a blockchain is hard. Get to product market fit is hard. Build a company hard. Build a community hard. Launch a new token hard. Run a DAO super hard. Feeling that you're making a dent in the universe is priceless. And that's what makes it all worth it, right? But like, doing all of these things and doing them well is really, really difficult. And yeah, so like, humble pill every single day when I wake up. And I think the rest of the team is the same way. It is 11:55, so I want to do a time check here, because we don't have a whole lot. So pick the best last question, and let's call it a day. We have a lot of work to do.
I think I have like a 3-on-1 question. Let's try to summarize as much as we can. It says, what style of IDO do we intend of doing? Is it like Mango style or the usual Radium Selenium IDO? And what platform do we intend launching? Yeah. Very tough question for the end. Sorry.
Next question, maybe. Yeah. TBD. I cannot. Our hearts are split at the moment. And I'm going to make a comment about why the hearts are split on going one direction or the other. At the same time that I'm going to say, like, there is no hard and done decision as to which style of IDO we're going to go with at the moment. But doing Mango style, like, if you say, well, we're going to go Mango style, and for those of you who are not familiar, Mango style means that we're doing a double blind auction on a 48-hour timetable. Okay, so what that means is that, put it simply, the way it works is we deposit the total tokens that we want to be that are going to be offered in the IDO. So like put an arbitrary number, say there's 1 million tokens. Okay, we deposit that in the smart contract, and the smart contract is going to accept deposits into the smart contract. So there's no other entity or no like IDO launchpad or anything like that. So it's just basically the market and the smart contract for the IDO. So you deposit the tokens on the smart contract, and the smart contract can only distribute the tokens to people that deposit money into the smart contract. So the way that it works is like on the first 24 hours, people deposit capital, USDC, USDT into the smart contract. And then on the second 24 hours, so the 24 to 48 hours, people can only withdraw. So in the first 24, people can deposit and withdraw as much as they can. And on the second 24 hours, people only withdraw from the smart contract. What that guarantees is a couple of things. And the first one is like there's no whitelisting. Anybody that wants to participate can simply just go during the 48-hour window and participate, or during the first 24 hours and participate. And if you think that in the second 24 hours, the price of the token is going up too much, because like the price at which the last person on the 24-hour period said the price of the token is too high, then you have 24 hours to just withdraw your money and not participate. That is a stress-free situation. It is very fair for the market. There's no whitelisting. There's no blockage. There's no nothing. It is super transparent. However, there has been somewhat an abusive part. There's somewhat abused by teams that don't make good use of those funds, or that didn't have a well-planned execution path post that IDO. Case in point, Parrot. Their token price tanked after their Mango-style IDO, but that had nothing to do with the token, or have nothing to do with the IDO itself, with the style of IDO. It had to do with the team making some poor decisions that caused the token to tank post that. And so there were a lot of people that were pissed off at Parrot and blame the tanking of the token to that. But if you look at Solan, if you look at AgriFinance, if you look at Mango, like all of them have actually done extremely well. So with the one exception of Parrot, I personally think that it's a very fair way to go to the market so yeah, that's one. And then on the other side, there is that particular style of doing IDO also doesn't have because anybody can participate. You don't have to go through a lot of the project is not protected against participation from forbidden countries and things like that, where we can put a blocking IP for countries that cannot participate, but people can always like go on a VPN and stuff like that and go through and basically technically it is a loophole that people in restricted jurisdictions can access the IDO if they had sufficient technology to do so, which it is somewhat mitigated if you go with a launch platform like Radium or Selenium that can truly help us out, not only rally the community around a particular launch date that is going to happen at specific start price, with already people that have gone through KYC, validated, like only people that can actually buy the token will be able to buy the token. So there's a lot of security risks that get mitigated by using a central launch platform like Selenium, right? There's pros and cons to both of them. And if history serves us to say, anything, what is clear is that when you do a launch that is open into the market, meaning not through an IDO platform, projects end up with a lot more money in their treasury, meaning you're able to raise a lot more capital from the market by doing a Mango style IDO versus doing a IDO Launchpad IDO. But it comes with a lot of different risks as well that need to be evaluated. So I'll leave it at that, and it will be announced. That's all I can say. And with that, I think we're actually a little bit over time. It is 12:02. Thank you very much. We have had a tremendous turnout here. 66 on Discord and maybe like 20 people here. So 80 something people here. Phenomenal. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if we didn't get to answer all of your questions. When we close the AMA questions channel on Discord, I will try to address them, or we collectively will try to address them one by one. The ambassadors are there as well. Ambassadors and mods, please, mention me directly if one of the comments or one of the questions cannot be answered directly, or you don't know the answer, and I'll try to address it there as best as possible. See you next week, and keep engaged, keep happy, and let's fucking go.
Yeah. See you next week.
See you next week. Later,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.